members. I know that
Thank you.
Senator Isaacson had a question or a comment. Why don't we just wrap up with that, and then we'll see if anybody else has something short to offer.
Yes,
Senator Isaacson.
Mr. Chair, can you hear me okay?
Yep, got you.
All right, great. I heard a lot of really compelling stuff today, and some really very poignant, emotional stories about what we're experiencing at home with our kids. My days aren't much different from what they heard. You know, I spent this morning working 2 kids through distance learning and a 4-year-old who just wants attention, and a 20-week-old puppy who also wants attention. That one's more of a self-inflicted chaos. But the rest of it, while trying to be on a webinar for redistricting, that's a nationwide webinar that I should be paying attention to, and having the opportunity to try to learn and do my job while also having my kids learn, it's very challenging. And watching my kids pray for COVID to go away because they want to see their friends again, I resonate with all of the things that people are talking about there. And I think there's 2 points I want to make. One is, in many ways, I feel like COVID is just revealing a lot of the inequities we have already in our system, especially with folks that are socioeconomically segregated from our economy, and the ability to be successful and have the promise, the opportunity to pursue happiness. Right? People are not in that position, and we're putting them in even a worse spot. But I want to be clear about one thing. When I sit here and I'm at home with my kids all day because my wife has to go take care of her dad who just got home from a lung transplant, and I can't go to the Capitol because I've got to make sure I quarantine away so I don't put him at risk. I'm not over here thinking to myself that I think the Republicans are to blame or the Democrats are to blame or a union's to blame. I want to be really clear. The problem is we're in a pandemic situation, right? And that's the reality, and people are dying. And we see the research coming out now. We've been in this situation for about a year, and we see the research coming out now that's showing some of the things we're talking about with our kids, and we're seeing some of the damage that's happening from the social isolation, as the last speaker talked about, right? And I think moving forward, it would be really helpful to have this conversation in a way that talks about how are we going to solve this problem going forward. But when I hear people just dropping verbal bombs at the teachers' unions or at whoever else they want to talk about, it's really tough to take them seriously when they also talk about some of the other important, empathetic things that are important for us to hear. I feel like it gets kind of lost in the message. And so I'm excited and committed to seeing ourselves really find ways to provide as much support for local control in our school districts, financing some of the assessments they talked about, putting teachers in a position to be successful, and students in a position where they can try to recapture some of what they lost. And I hope that is the focus of this committee as we move forward. And if it is, I'm looking forward to rolling my sleeves up and working with you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for letting me have a few comments. I appreciate it.